Hello, hello. I see Adira was here saying hi. Hi, Adira. Sorry I missed you. Gonna wait a couple of minutes, see if anybody comes on. I'm not counting on it as usual, but I have decided to change up my stream this afternoon. I'm going to have a breaking it down episode. So I'll go ahead and start. Um, the title, well, I think this is a title. I call it Grazing in the Cult Zone. Cow tangs, court dates, and cans of nothing. Cow tangs is my new name for Chumley's supporters. Cowtangs. I don't know. They all look a lot alike. They all weigh about the same. I don't think any of them wear makeup. Their hair looks the same to me. I don't know. That's just a name that came to mind. So, welcome, welcome. And we made it through another week of what in the grift just happened. Another week of cult cosplay, courtroom confusion, and empty soda cans. I hope you brought your snacks because Melody definitely did. And if not, don't worry, she'll eat yours too on camera, loudly, while trying to drink from an empty can like it's a metaphor for her entire personality. DOA's back in court, the cowtangs are grazing, and Alfonso is still auditioning for the role of most smug man alive. Buckle up. It's a mess, you guys. Okay. Let me scroll down. The Cowtang Chronicles. Let's talk about the Cowtangs. You know, that elite squad of gas money grifters who treat Chumley's court dates like a spiritual pilgrimage. Melody, Auntie M, Judy, I don't know all of their names, just the rest of the brigade rolling hundreds of miles deep in a cloud of entitlement and expired fast food coupons. They don't miss a meal, they don't miss a court date, and they definitely don't miss a chance to ask strangers for hotel money while pretending they're on some kind of justice mission. Spoiler alert, the only mission they're on is to graze in DOA's general vicinity like cult cows at a drive-thru. And yes, they did spend the night in his motorhome, allegedly, because nothing says activism like falling asleep during a movie in a fugitive's RV. Alfonso, the Oracle of Obnoxious. We'll pivot to Alfonso. Of course, Alfonso stirring the pot. The man, the myth, the brown-nosed philosopher of Chumley's rear end. He's been out of Scientology for, 26 or maybe 28 years, depending on which ego he's talking to. And don't you worry, he'll remind you every 15 minutes. He called Becky and Rib Guy failed operatives, which is rich coming from someone who basically who's basically the self-appointed gatekeeper of cult I can't even talk. The self-appointed gatekeeper of cult commentary. According to Alfonso, there's only one way to take down the Church of Scientology. And it's his way, of course. Everyone else, just noise. Second gen, they don't count. He's the only one who's ever truly escaped, apparently. I mean, if smugness were a felony, Alfonso would be in court with Chumlee every week. He's got Chumlee convinced that Becky and Ribguy are conspiring with the Church of Scientology's attorney, Moxon, because nothing says critical thinking like accusing your critics of being secret operatives. Ribguy did make a post, and I quote, "Per data I have gathered by professionals, the charges have been fine-tuned to the new ones, which will bring a higher probability of conviction." I'm sure Chumlee lost his mind when he read that, because facts are his kryptonite. And Alfonso, he's the one whispering conspiracy theories like it's a bedtime story. Chumlee believes it all. Let's see, segment 3. Dave B., the mod with the muzzle. Mod for DOA, mod for Melody, mod for the Ministry of Misinformation. He blocks people faster than Chumlee collects felonies. Ask a question that doesn't fit the narrative? Blocked. Mention facts? Blocked. Say, hey, maybe don't sleep in a fugitive's RV. Blocked and reported for harassment. He's the snake in the grass who thinks he's a gardener. But really, he's just pruning the truth to make room for more lies. Meanwhile, the Granny Grift Squad is still going strong, encouraging Chumlee to keep live streaming his own downfall. David B. blocks anyone who asks questions. Melody's still eating on camera, and the whole crew is riding shotgun on the sinking ship of delusion. Audit LA said it best, quote, "If they were his true friends, they'd tell him to shut up and stop making it worse. But instead, they egg him on like it's a cult-themed pep rally." So true, so true. Segment 4, court date chaos. Sounds like it could be a game show. So let's start with Chumlee's latest legal adventure. He said charges 2 through 6 were dropped. Yay, good for him, but not so fast. Charges 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are felonies. It's like legal whack-a-mole over there. You knock one down, 3 more pop up. Let's just say the man's rap sheet is starting to look like a CVS receipt. Oh my. Yes, violating the constitutional rights of the Church of Scientology. 5 new felony charges delivered for free to Chumlee. And yes, I know how wild that sounds, but apparently the Constitution applies even to cults. Chumlee's response? Total confusion. He doesn't understand how new charges can be added at a preliminary hearing. He said, "We didn't get to have any witnesses." Sir, it's not a trial. It's not Judge Judy. It's a preliminary hearing. You don't get to call your granny minions to the stand. And yes, the Cowtings are still out there fundraising for gas money like it's a charity gala. I swear if delusion were taxable, they'd owe back pay. Then the $60,000 griftathon. On his way out of the court, he turned on his live stream and he announced he needs $60,000 because each felony charge costs $10,000 to be represented at trial. And right after dropping that bomb, he said, I don't want to answer any questions right now. I don't even know what's going on. Oh, really? You want your followers to Venmo you their retirement checks, but you don't want to explain why you're facing 5 felonies. That's not fundraising. That's emotional extortion. Audit LA and the jealousy spiral. And then because it wouldn't be Chumlee without a delusional detour, he saw 2 people he doesn't like and claimed that Audit LA sent them. I don't know what he calls them, Batman and something, or I don't know. Yes, he wants to blame Audit LA, of course, his newest person to focus on. The activist who got the first permit to shut down L. Ron Hubbard Way for a Father's Day protest. Yep, he's dogging her. The only one who actually does things. The one Chumlee can't stand because she's effective, respected, and not banned from Scientology buildings. Remember, he couldn't attend the protest on Father's Day because he's legally required to stay away. I think it's 1,000 feet, something like that. That's not activism, it's a restraining order. Hi, Mark. Hi, sorry, I changed the what I'm doing. I decided to do a breaking it down episode, and so I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through if you want to bear with me. But if you don't, I understand. Did you check DOS comments an attorney posted? Oh no, I didn't read it. Oh wow. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Huh. That I'll have to check that out. I've been writing this and I had something to eat, had a cup of coffee, and here I am back again. So let's see. Let me continue. Okay, Alfonso's influence and Rib Guy's mic drop. Like I said, of course, Alfonso stirring the pot. He's got Chumlee convinced that Becky and Rib Guy are conspiring with the Church of Scientology's attorney, Kenneth Moxon, because nothing says critical thinking like accusing your critics of being secret operatives. And I already read what Rib Guy posted. Granny Minions and David B., the enablers. Meanwhile, the Granny Grift Squad is still going strong, encouraging DOA to keep live streaming his downfall. I think I already read that. Oh, I lost my place when I looked at the chat. Sorry. So sorry, you guys. I'm terrible. Hi, Karen. Hi, Rudy and Mark is here. Okay, let me try to find where I was. Okay. Now I want to talk about someone named Maureen. She goes by Maureen LA for me. I've never seen her around any chats that I go in. I'm sure she's one of Chumley's supporters, just going by the way she's been trolling me the past few days, leaving nasty comments. But Maureen LA for me. It sounds like a fancy skincare brand, but acts like a troll with a flip phone. When I posted about my fundraiser to reconnect with my son after 3 years, Maureen decided that wasn't tragic enough for her taste. So she left not one, but two comments. They were short. So the first one told me, maybe get a job. And the second one, she just called me a grifter because apparently compassion is too expensive for her and empathy is on back order. But wait, it gets better. During a live stream the other day, my nose started running and I mentioned that my allergies had been bad. And Maureen, you know what she said? She said in the comments, which I didn't see until after she checked out real quick, she said, it's the meth. Oh, really, Maureen? You diagnose strangers through live streams now? What's the next telepathic urine test? I've never seen her, like I said, but suddenly she's showing up like a bad rash in DOA's fan base. Coincidence? Maybe, but probably not. She's probably one of the Cowtang cousins lurking in the shadows, clutching her pearls and her expired moral compass. So, Maureen, if you're watching, I do have a job. I make jewelry full time, and I expose hypocrisy. I defend truth, and I call out people like you who confuse cruelty with cleverness. And if you're here to troll, at least bring better material because it's the meth is lazy, tired, and about as accurate as Chun-Li's legal advice. Yep. So I want to explain what a preliminary hearing is because DOA is just freaking out, saying that his due process, the due process was, how did he say it? Anyway, he thinks that he got cheated in court. Hi, Janet. I'm almost finished, but I want to clarify what a preliminary hearing is. They are legal. Charges get dropped. New ones get added. It's not sabotage, Chum-Li. It's very standard. Prosecutors aren't locked into their first set of charges. If stronger evidence emerges, they can upgrade the charges. If weaker ones don't hold, they get tossed, just like what happened to you. It's called refining the case, not violating due process. It happens all the time. It's how the system avoids wasting time on flimsy charges and ensures serious ones get the attention they deserve. So when Chum-Li cries foul, he's not exposing corruption. He's exposing confusion. Legal reality doesn't bend to your expectations, Chum-Li. It bends to evidence, procedure, and the rules of law. And when you treat a preliminary hearing like a personal attack, you're not challenging injustice. You're just flailing. So that's the breakdown. DOA's facing mandatory prison time. The Caltains are still grazing, and Alfonso still pretending he's the only one who ever escaped Scientology. I'll be back with more updates, more snark, and maybe a GoFundMe for a clue. Until then, stay sharp, stay loud, and don't fall asleep in a fugitive's RV. You're better than that. You aren't Caltain, and you're not Melody. And that's what I have to say about all of that. That was kind of long-winded, wasn't it? You should remember that he gave up his First Amendment right. Yeah, really, who does that? Who does that? And he didn't only give up his First Amendment rights to free speech, he gave up his chats, his associates, whoever his associates are. Yeah, he gave up all of their rights to free speech also. But they don't see it that way. Oh well. I had this sign once that said you can't fix stupid. And for a long time, every time I saw that sign, I would just laugh because it's so true. You can't fix stupid. You really can't. Oh my goodness. So anyway, is there anything else new, you guys? Who decides who his associates are? That's a good question. When he was given that choice to go to jail or not say Rip Guy or Tanya's name, and don't let your chat talk about them or your associates, I heard that word from either from him or someone that was in the courtroom. I'm not sure. 3:27 p.m. Central. Yes, it's 4:27 p.m. here. I am an hour different from Central. I'm Eastern, but did y'all know part of Florida is Central time? That up in the Panhandle to about the middle of the state. And like if you're looking at Florida straight on, about the middle of the state, way up top and to the left, that's all Central time zone. And the rest of Florida is Eastern time. It's really weird. Anyway. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. I think I told people earlier. I started a new TikTok thing. I've never been on TikTok in my life, but I'm starting a I don't know what to call it. It's not a show, but I'm calling it Life from a Wheelchair. And I have all kinds of things planned just to help people understand what it's like to live life from a wheelchair. There's a lot of things that people don't think of, which I don't blame them, because unless you're in a wheelchair, you wouldn't think of these things. But yeah, and some of the things are funny. Some of the things are not good. Some of the things are frustrating. But anyway, I'm going to try to get something going on TikTok just because I'm curious about it. Like I said, I don't know how it all works, but I'm finding out. So we'll see. So if any of y'all are ever on TikTok, I don't know how you find me or I can't even remember. Oh, my handle or name on there is Kelly. It's my name, Kelly dot the initial K, and then my last name Ford, like the car, Ford. So Kelly dot K Ford. My middle name is Kay, but I didn't spell it out. I just put K Ford. So Kelly dot K Ford. I made my first video yesterday, and it's real short. Like, I guess they're all supposed to be pretty short over there. I think you can go up to 3 minutes, though, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, I just went on there and kind of introduced myself, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, I added some real soft music in the background, and yeah, so that being said, I was going to work on the jewelry that I started this morning, but I really don't feel like it. So, um, I could show some paintings that I've done, but I don't know if the people that are here have seen them or not. If there's anybody here that hasn't seen my paintings, I showed them. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, but I think there's only one person in the that was lurking when I was showing them. I don't remember. But I have them all stacked up right here because I had to clean out my studio because last week when it rained real hard, um, my floor was all wet. So I had to move my desk. I had to move a lot of stuff out of my studio. That's why my background looks different. I'm in our living room now, waiting for the leak to get fixed. So maybe I can go back in there. But we're also starting to slowly pack up our stuff because we're moving to Kingman, Arizona, or maybe there's a small chance we could move to Nevada. We've lived in Las Vegas before, years and years ago. We moved there in the early 80s, and we're there for about like 13 years or something. And you're procrastinating a cross stitch. Good for you, Karen. That's cool. I've never learned cross stitch. I am teaching myself how to crochet, but I don't work on it very often. Teaching myself, there's like some questions that I need answered, and I found someone who told me to email. She told me to email her all my questions, and then I just never got around to it. So I need to pull it out again. But I always have 10 million things to do, you know? I really do have a lot of stuff going on. There's not enough hours in the day. You know, the older I get, the faster time goes by. The days go by really fast. Weeks go by fast, real fast for me. Like, especially like, I cannot believe how fast Friday rolls around. Then it kind of slows down for me over the weekend. I think that's because a lot of my favorite YouTubers aren't there on the weekend, really, like Candace Owens and Megan Kelly, and a couple of others. So that makes the weekends go by slow for me. And a lot of times there's not as many people in this community live streaming. They, after protesting on Friday in Clearwater, um, they kind of take the weekend off, I've noticed. Oh, I did find out though, one of my, hold on, let me get a drink of water. One of one of the things I wanted to do for going on 3 years now is go protest somewhere with a group of protesters. But I never have been able to do it. I had it planned a couple of times, and then something always happened and I never got to go. So I'm going in December when they have the Lisa McPherson gathering, But I want to go before then. And it's so hot here in Florida, like this time of the year. So I'm kind of holding off, waiting for it to cool down a little bit. So at the end of September is Aaron's birthday. And my birthday is about, I think, 9 days before that, or 8 days, something like that, right before his. And I know there's a group of them going down at the end of September. So I found out that my ex-husband roommate said that he can make a trip to Clearwater at the end of September because he has some galleries that he wants to take some of his paintings to in that area. So I guess I'm going to get to go to Clearwater twice before we move to Arizona. Thank goodness. One at the end of September and then one at the beginning of December. So I am excited. I need to start looking for either an Airbnb to stay at. I think those are usually cheaper, in my opinion, than staying at a hotel. I don't know. I think that time of the year, the snowbirds start coming down, in September. So prices usually go up. I need to figure it out now because Natalie and her sister are going. Yes, they are. I got to meet Natalie last year in Miami. When we left for the cruise, the day and night before we left, Aaron and Cheryl surprised us and showed up. So I got to meet them. And then when we got back, Aaron brought Jenna and his 3 daughters and Natalie. And I'm trying to remember if Cheryl was there before and after or only before. I was so sick, you guys, when we got off the cruise ship. I ended up calling someone and having them come get me. I was supposed to wait till the next day and ride the bus back home, but not going to be that many snowbirds this year, you don't think? Who knows? But so anyway, they were all down there when we got back, and we celebrated Aaron's birthday, and but I ended up leaving that night instead of staying till the next day because I was just so sick. And I called a friend and he drove 5 hours from Jacksonville to Miami to pick me up. And I slept the whole way back and got back before it was even light outside. So I didn't get to finish the birthday celebration with them, but I did get to meet them. They are just all so nice. They really were nice. But anyway, so yeah, about the jewelry, you have 4 copper rings. Are they all size 8? I can make any size. What size do you need, Jan? I made them all a little bit on the big side because I didn't have a ring mandrel to measure them on, so I was just kind of putting them on my finger. But then I got a ring sizing manual, so I can make them any size you want. Yes, ma'am. The fan's blowing the hair in my mouth. How are you doing, Jan? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a little bit. Yeah, I love those copper rings. I like them also because you can shine them up so good. But did you know, like, when you wear copper or sterling silver, you're good, busy working and saving for December. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, when you wear sterling silver or copper, they don't tarnish near as fast, if at all, like they do when they're sitting in a jewelry box. Isn't that crazy? I think it's because, they're constantly getting moved around and the oils from your skin and like drying your hands after you wash them. But yeah, they don't seem to tarnish near as bad when you're wearing them. And I didn't even figure that out. I read that somewhere. And I'm like, well, that's true. I hardly ever have to clean there goes my nose. I hardly ever have to clean the rings on my fingers. So, anyway. What size ring do you wear, Jan? You don't have to get one, but I'd like to know what size you wear. Just, I don't know. I'm bringing presents when I come in December. Oh. Okay. Y'all, my poor dog, I have a long-haired Chihuahua, and a couple of months I gave him a bath, and I used flea and tick shampoo. And after I gave him the bath, he was nonstop scratching and biting, and it just drove me crazy. So I thought, well, maybe I didn't get all of the shampoo off of him, So I stuck him back in there, and I soaked him real good, and I used some real mild shampoo that I have for me. And you're about 7 right now. Okay. And used a real mild shampoo on him and made sure I rinsed him really good. And it didn't help. And then, like, a few days ago, I noticed that most of the hair around his little bottom, his behind, is all chewed off. It looks terrible. And I can't, and now he's starting on a new spot on his hip. There's starting to be a big bald spot about that big. And I can't figure it out. There's no fleas there aren't any fleas on him. I look all the time, and there's no rash, or there's no like flaky dry skin. I don't think it did, because I put him back in and made sure that I got the soap out really good, and I used just a tiny bit of a real mild soap that I have for my hair, but I made sure that I rinsed him really good that time. So yesterday I filled, because I usually bathe him in my bathtub because I have a shower hose, that I can spray him with, but he doesn't like it. So I filled up the kitchen sink, and we have a real deep sink, and I put a whole bunch of warm water with a whole bunch of baking soda in it, and I made sure it was all dissolved. Then I put some Epsom salt in there and made sure it was all dissolved. Then I put him in there and just like let him kind of soak. It was a nightmare though. He kept putting his front feet up on the side of the sink. So Richard helped me, and so I let him soak in there for a while, and then I was dumping water over his back, because baking soda is supposed to soothe your skin. So I did all that, and puppy shampoo. So I did all that and made sure he was well rinsed, and took him out. And I think it helped a little bit, but I have caught him a couple of times chewing on that spot. I think a lot of it is just, it's become a habit. And when he doesn't know what to do with himself, I think he chews on himself. He's not like one of those chihuahuas that shakes. He never does that, but I think he has just a little bit of anxiety, maybe. I don't know. So then I was at the pet store the other day also, and I told the people working there, these two men, and one went around the corner and he brought me back this bag of, it says, if your dog is anxious or has anxiety, give him one of these. And it was CBD tablets. And he said this might help relax him. So I bought the bag, and don't you know, of course, he won't just eat them. So I smushed some up in his dinner last night. Well, it was later than dinner. It was like, I don't know, 3 a.m. Late dinner, early breakfast, but he didn't eat it. But about 2 hours ago, I put it back down for him, and he ate it. And now he's finally sleeping. So maybe, did I say I smushed up the CBD thing and put it in his food? He ate it finally, and he's sleeping back behind me, which is good. I'm glad. So I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to have to take him to a vet. Online it said that sometimes they get mites, but you can't always see. Some mites are so small that you can't see them. So I don't know. It could be that. But I'm going to try soaking him again in a couple of days And you always hide pills and peanut butter. Mine doesn't even like peanut butter very much. He is so weird about that. And plus, he takes the daintiest little bites. Um, and if I try to hide anything in something, he doesn't just swallow it. He chews it. No matter how small it is, he'll chew it, and he always finds the pill or whatever and spits it out. And it's just, he's hard to give any kind of medication to, but it did work. Smashing it up, making it into a powder, and I put it. Our vet closed shop a few months ago, so I need to find a new vet. And I just haven't done it yet, but yeah, I need to, and I need to take him in. That's what I need to do. I just have to wait till my next paycheck. So that's a little ways off. In the meantime, I'm hoping that the baking soda baths help. What kind of dog is? His name is P, like the letter P. I know it's a dumb name. It's a boy. He is a long-haired Chihuahua. Long-haired Chihuahua. Yeah. Oh, the people next door keep banging on something, and he barks. He thinks someone's at the door. Oh, he is so cute, Jan, and he is so smart. I swore that the last dog I had, I thought she was the smartest little thing, and she was smart. She really was. But this one, yours is a mini pin. Oh, cute. Cute. Those are so cute. Yeah. She passed years ago, but lived to be 14. Oh, Collie Shepherd. Oh, Sally. I'm sorry. I missed that. I thought you were talking to me. I'm so sorry. Oh, I missed that you were talking about Sally. I apologize, Janet. I'm getting in the middle of y'all's conversation and didn't mean to. Wow, 14. That's good for being a bigger dog. Huh? There's a part 2 of Growing Up in Polygamy with Aaron. Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Is that good? The growing up in Scientology versus growing up in polygamy. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. Oh, it just dropped today? Oh, it is good? Okay, cool. Cool, I have something to look forward to. Yay. I'll make my evening go by faster. Not that it needs to go by any faster. Oh my gosh. I just can't believe how, like when you're a kid, how slow school goes by, and the days just drag on. And then when you get old, it's so fast. It blows my mind. I really don't know where time goes. That went down the wrong pipe. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, I'm going to mute this. Maybe. Sorry, I had to cough and I didn't want to break your eardrums. Yeah, the faster time goes and the hotter the sun gets. Don't y'all notice that? Like the older I get, the hotter it is. It's crazy. I know I would not enjoy going to the beach and, sunbathing like I used to at all. If I go to the beach, it's going to be real early in the morning or late in the evening, early or late in the afternoon, early in the evening. I do not want the heat of the sun beating down on me. No way. Oh, I remember like being so worried about getting a tan. And remember when, did y'all used to put baby oil on your skin so you would tan faster? I can't believe we used to do that. And sometimes even mix iodine in with the baby oil. Oh my gosh. I think that's why I have a lot of the wrinkles that I have. And I have sunspots on my legs, like, the brown spots. Yes, December in Florida is perfect, perfect time of the year to be here. Yeah, an umbrella. Yep, yes, sir. The sun is no fun when you're old. I don't know, I'm old. I'll be 63 next month. Ah, and I've got to quit smoking, you guys. It's terrible that I hang on to these cigarettes. It really is. I just enjoy them so much. Isn't that terrible? Especially with my coffee. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, thanks, Jan. You'll see me in person. 1:11. Is it 1:11 in the morning there? Oh my goodness. Is he 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? That's 8 hours difference. You quit in 2017. Good for you. Good for you. Um, I'm not looking forward to trying to quit. I'm really not. I'm almost afraid to quit because I've seen or known a few people that when it's 111 degrees tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Ah, you're kidding. Jeez. Do you have dry heat or do you have humidity? It's humidity here. You know what? We had rain all afternoon and it is only 82 degrees in Jacksonville, Florida right now, but I bet it's 100% humidity out there. Heat wave. Are, are you across the pond or did you say you were? Oh, I don't know if I ever asked you where you were. You told me your name was French. Humidity. Ugh. Boy, that's brutal. Brutal, brutal. 111 degrees with humidity. I know, like in the desert, Arizona, Las Vegas, that's the high desert. And it gets in the hundreds in the summer, but there's no humidity. It's so dry there that to me it's easier to handle and easier to stay cool. Um, the humidity absolutely kills me. I do not like it at all. I know it's better for your skin, so that's what they say, you know. But I'm ready to move. I've lived in Florida since 2000 and the end of 2002. I got moved here. My doctor sent me with my mother when she came to visit me after I had my accident and couldn't take care of myself. So he made me go with my mom, and I went and grabbed my pet rabbits and brought them on the plane and moved to Florida. I had a suitcase with a few clothes that I packed, and that's all I took. So that was back in the end of 2002. So I've been in Florida a long time, all except for when I was homeless in Austin, Texas from the end of 2019 for 2.5 years, 2020, 21, and beginning of or I think the spring of 2022. I couldn't stand being on the street any longer, so I called my ex-husband slash roommate, and boy, that's been quite a ride, quite a ride. Good, yeah, I don't blame you. You lived north of Orlando in 2010 till 2012. Wow. Before here, I lived in Northern California, like way northern, up by Eureka, because that's where he lived. So I only lived there like 3 or 4 months, and I talked him into moving back to Florida because I wanted to be close to my son. A lot of good that did. He has not come to visit me once. Now, in all fairness, he does go to college in Virginia or Kentucky, I forget, somewhere a little Presbyterian college where he plays football. So, but he moved to Austin this summer with my mom and is going to go for his senior year. He's going to be graduating college this coming, or next. He starts. He's starting a new college in Texas by Austin this year. If I can spit it out. So I would love to live in Austin again, just not on the streets. But I can't afford to do it by myself. So I'm having to stay roommates with him. Now he's 87, but he's probably healthier than I am, to tell you the truth. Being in a wheelchair doesn't help when you're getting older. So yeah, I'm kind of forced to stay roommates with him for right now. But if he dies before me, then I'll inherit everything, and I will move wherever my son is living. I'll move close to him because he's really the only one that I care about. Is that terrible? It's the truth. And of course, he just turned 21, and he's not at that age where he wants to hang out with mom. I understand that, but I also do not understand him treating my mom like she is his mother. I'm the mom. I wish he would treat me like one. Oh well, I'm just kind of waiting my turn. She has ovarian cancer. I think she's in remission, but ovarian cancer is pretty brutal from what I hear. But I'm not allowed to know what's going on with her, so I don't know. Yeah, you have to have a child to understand where I'm coming from, for real. Well, and even sometimes people, like, he has children, he has two, but he never knew them. And so he doesn't understand my bond with my son at all. And uh, I can't explain it to him because he obviously didn't fall in love with his kids like I fell in love with mine, you know. That's on him. That's his loss, not mine. But anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of trying to bide my time and until I can be by him again. Anyway, okay, you guys. Yeah, women are different, I guess. I'm just so glad that I did have a child. I was 41 when I had him, and it was after my accident, which was a huge surprise. I didn't think I could get pregnant because for years I wasn't on any birth control, and I had a couple of boyfriends and I never got pregnant, and so I didn't think I could, especially after my accident. And voila, God had different plans. I became pregnant with twins, and at about 15 weeks, um, I felt different. I knew something happened. And anyway, um, one of the twins died, and I had to carry her the whole time I carried my son. But I just, it was rough for a couple of days, but then I knew I had to get my head right and be happy that I still had him, because I didn't want to pass on any like bad juju, by being depressed and crying all the time. So I celebrated having him still. And thanks, Mart. But it's all good. I'll see her again. I believe in the afterlife. I believe that we're going to see our loved ones, our family. And so, yeah, but he was exactly a month early. He was a little preemie. He was so tiny, teeny tiny. I had to have a C-section. One day I went in for my monthly appointment, and the doctor he heard irregular heartbeat. So he hooked me up to the monitor and kept me there for a couple hours, and he let me go home, and he said, but you come back first thing in the morning. And so I did, and they hooked me up to the machine again. And after about an hour, he said, okay, you're having a baby today. I'm like, what? I just came in here. He said, nope. It was his opinion that he needed to take the baby out. And it's lucky he did, because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck 3 times, and that's why his heartbeat was so irregular. So I'm so thankful that the doctor knew what he was doing and made the decision to take him out. And that was the happiest day of my life. And he was just so tiny. He sounded like a little bird when he came out. His little cries were so little tiny. And he was so tiny. Oh my goodness. And I got to stay in the hospital for a few days because, of my injury, and because I had a C-section. So the doctor didn't scoot me out like they do most people. They don't like you to stay in a hospital, especially more than one night anymore. They like to get you out of there. But I never had to bring him back, or he didn't have to be hospitalized again. He was, like I said, exactly to the day, a month early. And he was fine. He grew and grew and grew. Yeah, that's right. The things we remember. It was scary, but I had an epidural, so I didn't feel anything. Thank goodness. And he turned into I did have a picture of him in here. I think, hold on. I just think he's so cute. I have some picture. I don't know if I have one of him now. Oh no, these are when he was little. This is me and him when he was, I don't know how old he was. That was 07, and he was born in 04. There's a glare. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. Anyway, his hair has gotten a lot darker. I don't know where the other picture of him is. I must put it somewhere when I moved everything out here. Oh well. Hi, Awakened. How are you? Yeah, insurance. It's the insurance companies that. It's good to see you again, Awakened. Yeah, I've been trying to come on and do a live every day. This is my second one today, but I'm trying to figure out what time I want to do it every day. I tried this morning at 10 o'clock, but I think that's a little early. And I think between 3 and 4 is a good time. So y'all look for me between 3 and 4. Like I said, I'm going to try to come on every day. And I want to do art sometimes, but I also want to have other stuff to talk about. So I will try to have topics. You haven't got any notifications? Wow, that's wild. Huh. You know what? My notifications are hit and miss. More miss than hit, that's for sure. So, Yeah, hopefully, huh? But anyway, I think I hate to say it, but you just got here and I was about to sign off. Rabbit was having trouble with that too. Yeah, I remember hearing her say that. I don't know what it is with YouTube, but I'm going through StreamYard right now. For a while, they had some warnings that something was off with them, but I think they got it fixed. I don't know. I'm just on the free plan. I don't pay for their services, so I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to try to build my chat back up because before I went on the cruise last year, I used to have a little group that would come in the chat, and I miss all that. I miss that engaging with people. You're fighting with that at the moment. The whole ID thing is pissing me off. Oh, they say 2 months history. You've been here for over 8 years. You don't mind showing who I am, but not playing the game. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. At all. Oh, goodness. So, okay, you guys, you might want to go back and watch the beginning of this because I did do a breaking it down episode and I talk about a few people in court cases and stuff like that. So some of it's kind of funny, I must admit. I have a few funny lines in there you might like. Okay, I thank you for being here. I love this community. I'll say it every time. And it was good seeing you guys. Real good seeing you guys. Look, y'all really brought a smile to my face. Yeah, I will go see DOS, and I'm going to watch Polygamy versus Scientology too. Sending love to y'all too. Bye. I love you guys. Oh, Purple Groovy, I haven't seen you in a long time either. Much love to all of y'all. Check back tomorrow. I promise I'll have something something planned. Okay, and I have a good idea for the next game night, so I might do that in a couple of days also. And everybody in the chat can play. It will be fun. Real fun. Okay. See you soon, you guys. Thanks again. Bye. Oopsie.